Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's masterclass, How to Use Investment Clubs to Finance Your Dream Goals. My name is Janelle Rock, and I am really excited to be with you this afternoon as we talk about how you can use this very unique vehicle to finance dream goals. Big goals. So I don't know what your big goals are, but I sure do have a few. And I'm so excited to be able to share this concept with you. I learned about it a few years ago, and I have not only been using it to my own advantage as an investor and a wealth builder, but also sharing it with my tribe because I think it's a really important part of the foundation in terms of building wealth. My name is Janelle Rock, and I am the CEO and founder of Generation Wealth, which is an organization that works with both youth and adults to help them understand and implement principles around financial independence, all with the goal of building and maintaining real generational wealth. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Um, I'm really looking forward to today's session. I think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time together. If you are tuning into the broadcast, I want to encourage you to if you have questions or comments or anything, please don't hesitate to engage and to ask questions. If something resonates with you, I want you to just let me know in the chat, okay? Also, if you are tuning in from anywhere around the country, different parts of the world, we did a session earlier this week where we had people coming in from as far as Europe, and so it's really encouraging to just hear about how this message of financial independence is resonating with people all around the globe. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. All right, I'm having a little bit of a challenge here sharing my screen. So just give me one moment as I troubleshoot this issue here. Okay, let's try it now and see if it works. Okay, guys, just give me one moment while I troubleshoot this. For whatever reason, I don't know, we haven't had this issue before with the keynote presentation. Okay, we had some tech issues just a moment ago with our presentation. Hoping that we'll be able to bring it up now and we won't have any more issues. If you are just joining us, welcome. Today we are going to be looking at how to use investment clubs to finance your dream goals. I don't know what your goals are, but I know I have some big goals, and this is such a unique way to be able to leverage the power of group economics in order to meet those goals that you have. And I always say that your network is your net worth. And so think about the people in your circle, think about people that you know, people that you want to know, and how you can make more authentic connections with them, and how you could potentially use this awesome vehicle to help you achieve those goals faster. So let me just pull up a presentation here. Fantastic. So you should be able to see me and you should be able to see our presentation. All right, so let's get started. So first thing is, let's think about, who exactly is this class for? Are you working hard and saving your money, but you know that there's just got to be a better way, right? But you're not sure exactly what that way is and how you can be smarter about making your money grow faster. So if you're working hard, you're saving that money, you're putting it away, you want to put it into a vehicle that's going to expedite or accelerate the growth of your finances, but you're not sure what that is, then this class is definitely for you. Perhaps you feel like you are like always the one missing out on investment opportunities because you don't know the right people, or you don't feel like you even know enough about investing to take the chance with your hard-earned money. And so because you feel like you don't know, you find yourself in a place of fear, and you're not wanting to take that chance because you don't know if it's the right opportunity. And then sometimes you realize, like, oh man, I waited and I missed it. And you always feel like you're one step behind the next big investment opportunity. So if that's you, then this class is for you. Perhaps the idea of learning while earning money with other people is something that excites you, right? So earlier I talked about your net work being your net worth, right? Like they work together. And so it's so important to have fun on the journey and to surround yourself with people who think like you, who are on the same path, that can encourage you, that can advise you. And that is really one of the benefits that comes with investment clubs. And then finally, maybe you are a person that has a big heart. You want to give back. You see yourself in the future. One of your big goals may be to be a philanthropist. You want to give back in a big way. But when you look at your bank account, it's saying, you better give that money to these bills. And you have a vision of what you want to do and how you want to change the world through giving, but your finances right now may not be showing that, may not reflect that. And that too is okay, right? Because we all start somewhere. And what's important is to keep the vision in front of you. Don't ever let it grow dim, because what you see in your mind is what you're able to manifest in the present, like in the natural realm. And so that all has to do with mindset, and a wealth mindset is such a big part of becoming, growing wealthy in mind and body and spirit, and also being able to share that with those around you. So if any one of these four resonates with you, then you are definitely in the right class. So what I want to encourage us to do right now is to dream a little bit. I want you to think about, what is one of your big goals? One of your big goals that scare you, something that you really excited about, you want to do it, but you don't even know how. You can see it, but you don't know how it's going to happen yet. And I don't want you to be concerned about the how. I just want you to dream big. I want you to get that goal in front of you. And I'm going to share one of mine with you. So one of my goals is that I want to own a farm estate. I mean, I want acres and acres of land. I want to be able to grow all types of food. I am a vegetarian, and so I want to be able to grow the food that I eat. I want to have so much land that I'm actually able to have my whole family come and see me, but they're not always in my space, if you know what I mean. Like, you love your family, but you don't always feel like you can like live in the same space with them. So when we have holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and special occasions, I want my estate to be the place where people come together, make memories. I want to be able to invite my friends. I want horses. I want to be able to see the ocean from my estate, but I also want to have, of course, my own pools and saunas. And so this is a big goal for me. I have not figured out the exact path and how it's going to happen, but I'm preparing for it. And so, one of the individuals that inspired this goal of mine is someone quite famous. You might actually know him. His name is Lenny Kravitz, and he has a farm in Brazil. And every time I watch this video, it inspires me to really just refocus and get really clear about my goal and how I'm going to get there and keep it in front of me. It keeps the fire burning. So I want to share this video with you. So let's see if I can bring it up for you to see. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's not allowing me to share the video for whatever reason. I've been having some sharing challenges here, but I did give you an overview of what this farm is like. That's one of my big goals. If you ever have a chance, I would want to encourage you to actually watch this video. It's on YouTube. You can just look it up, Lenny Kravitz, Brazil farm estate, and you'll be able to see him kind of take us on a tour through his beautiful estate with the horses and the food and the other parts of the estate that includes his pool and different living quarters for visitors when they come. It's just so beautiful and so inspiring. So why do I even put that before you, right? Well, the title of this course is How Are You Going to Use Investment Clubs to Finance Your Dream Goals, right? So first, you need to think about what's that goal. And I hope that by now you have it in mind, you have it at the forefront. And now we're going to look at how you can use investment clubs to actually help you move closer to that. So if you don't have pen and paper yet, I want to encourage you to get that. However you take notes, if it's pen, if it's paper, if it's the notes app on your phone, or if you are, using a word or something on your computer. However, I want you to make sure that you take copious notes today as we talk about what this looks like. So before we get into the nuts and bolts, or the meat and potatoes, as you would hear say when we talk about, the real steps of how to make this happen, the first thing I want to start out is group economics. And what is it? And it's important to understand what group economics is, because that's basically the foundation on which investment clubs are built. So group economics is the practice of pooling your resources together to gain ownership and control of resources, land, and businesses. So there's a famous quote by Helen Keller that says, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." And so let's think about it. Let's say, you maybe have $10,000 and you want to start investing in a particular asset. Let's say it's real estate. But your $10,000 by itself may not go as far. But if you have 10 other people where you all are all able to come together and put $10,000, that $10,000 becomes $100,000. And there you've been able to increase your buying power, your investment power, in order to gain control of more resources, in this case, more real estate, to meet your goal. Okay, so that's the foundation on which investment clubs are built. Investment clubs is made up of a group of people who come together with the common interest to learn and earn. So they pool their money together and invest in various types of assets. So individual members of the club may also take what they've learned and apply it to their personal investment strategy. So why is this even important about, being able to apply it to your personal strategy? Well, what I love about investment clubs is not only that you're able to pool your resources together, but that resource also comes into play when you're talking about your ideas. Okay. So in an investment club, if you all are focused on stocks and you are looking at stocks in a particular sector, let's say you're looking at real estate investment trusts, and 5 people or 4 people from that group from your investment club decide that they're going to take on the responsibility of researching real estate investment trusts as a potential investment for the club. When they come back to report on what they found, of course, there's a consensus in terms of a vote of what will be invested in as a club, but you've also benefited from that research that they've done. And now you are able to take that and think about how you might invest it in your own personal investment strategy. And so you benefit as being a member of the investment club, but also in terms of how you approach your personal investing because of all the wonderful things that you learn in your club. So I want to use an example of how an investment club could be used to build wealth and finance your goals. And so I thought we'd start with a really good case study here. And this character that we're looking at, her name is Jada. Now, Jada graduated from grad school 2 years ago, and she currently has $50,000 in student debt. Right. So we know student loan debt is a heavy weight that so many individuals in this country carry, after high school with the hopes of getting a higher education to secure a better career, a better job. And so Jada, in this case, her student loan debt bill is $50,000. So she pays about $400 a month on the loan. And she's been saving money up with hopes of finding a good real estate investment opportunity that can help her expedite paying off her debt, as well as save towards other investments. So Jada she already has a particular mindset, right? So she realizes that she's going to need to find a way to make her money grow so that she can get rid of the student loan debt and free up her money. So then that way she can invest and put her money towards some other investments. So she recently started an investment group with 5 of her close friends who share similar goals. So last week, she spotted a depressed multifamily house for sale at $100,000. Okay. The seller wanted cash for the property. Not only was it worth about $150,000, if the club could buy the property and fix it up, they could rent it out and the group could collect about $4,500 in rental income every month. Now, Jada, she has about $25,000 saved, but it wasn't enough to do the deal by herself. But it could be done through her investment club. So she presented the deal to them, and after reviewing the numbers and earning potential, they decided to purchase the property. So each member contributed about $19,000 towards the property. They took out a $20,000 loan on the equity of the house to do repairs and then rented out each unit for $1,500 per month. Now, after paying monthly expenses of about $1,500 on the property, each partner collects $500 a month in passive income. So now Jada, she has more than double the amount of money she can pay down on her loan, right? So she was paying $400 a month. So now she can add that $500, making it $900 a month, cutting her repayment time in half. So the question is, how did this group economic strategy practiced through an investment club work in Jada's favor? So number one, Jada didn't have to use all of her savings plus a potential loan for $75,000 to finance the property, right? So she had $25,000 saved. The seller wanted all cash and was selling at $100,000. So she would have to use all her savings plus get a loan for $75,000 to finance the property. If she was then going to have to fix it up, that would be another $50,000. And then once she starts collecting rent, would it even be enough to cover the mortgage or even the additional payments on the loans that she had taken out to acquire the property in the first place? So what Jada did, she used OPM to finance the deal, right? Not all OPM, 19,000 of it was her money, but other people's money, put it together so that they're able to actually make this deal. And it's in a good interest for everyone involved. So this was not a unilateral decision on Jada's part. She bought the opportunity to the group. They took a look at it. They looked at the numbers. They saw that it was a good investment. And so they went forward with it. So now Jada, she's a beneficiary in that now she's invested in a vehicle that'll pay her every single month for as long as the club keeps the property. And then long after she pays off her loans, this investment is going to continue to pay her. And then she can use that money towards other investments. So this is a really exciting, when you think about it, how you can leverage the resources of your network and the people that you know and trust to actually meet some of these goals. So what are the benefits of being part of an investment club? Well, number one, you're able to leverage the money of others in your club to take advantage of bigger investment moves you couldn't make on your own. Secondly, you learn with a group of like-minded individuals to become a more intelligent investor. Thirdly, you attract more investment opportunities. And then finally, you're part of a wealth generation vehicle that is willable and transferable. You can pass it down to future generations. That is exciting, right? That's what wealth building is about. It's not just for you. You have to be able to see 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 generations down the line. How are you setting them up? So here's where I want you to start taking some notes if you haven't started already. And I'm going to talk through these 7 steps. Okay. So what are the steps to take to start your own investment club? Now, number one, you have to choose your club members. Now, these individuals don't need to be finance experts, lawyers, CPAs, although they could be part of your group, but they don't have to be. Okay. In my investment club, we don't have a CPA or a lawyer in our club, but we've hired a lawyer and a CPA to make sure that when we are going into deals that we are covered, and we also make sure that we have a CPA so that our numbers are in order. Okay, but club members are individuals in my club, from all walks of life. Some are in the nonprofit sector, some work in IT, some work in aviation, but everyone in the group, we have the shared goal. Some are entrepreneurs like myself, have the shared goal of building wealth. We trust each other, and we are very clear about what it takes in order to build wealth in our club. So we've come up even with our own criteria in terms of what kind of person we're looking for when we recruit for our club, which doesn't happen very often. But sometimes we'll go out and we'll look for other people to join the club, and we are very clear about what that looks like. But initially, I would say your club members, you don't want to have a club with more than 10 members to start. Our club, we have our members right now, we're at 9. And we've been thinking about expanding, but doing so with caution. So I would say 5 to 9 members to start. You want to determine the objective of the club. Is the club one where you are going to come together just to acquire? Maybe some clubs come together just to acquire a property where they need that capital, and they come together, pool their monies together, create a corporation so that they acquire the company, the properties under a corporation name. And then afterwards, once the deal is done, if it's a property that they're flipping or whatever, they've gained whatever capital that was agreed upon, and that's the purpose. It's more of a short-term agreement. Then you have clubs that are more long-term, where you are making long-term investments over an indefinite period of time. And so you may have annual dues. So, whatever your contribution is to the club, if it's $1,000 a year, $2,500, $10,000 a year, whatever that is, those contributions are made, and you have meetings monthly to really discuss how you're going to be allocating those funds, how you're increasing your financial intelligence in the areas in which you're investing in. So you could have a club where you actually stop at step 2. where you choose your club members, you determine the objective, and then once you determine the objective, let's say is long-term, you want to make these long-term investments, and you come together every month to talk about it. And then you take whatever you've learned from the club and you go ahead and you apply it to your own personal investment strategy. So you all are not necessarily pooling money together, but you're pooling knowledge together, okay? But if you want to move forward in a more formal approach, and this is, definitely something to advocate for at some point, this is how our investment club operates. We actually have gone further to, of course, we have a name for our club. We have group officers, a president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and auditor. Those are the five the five offices that we have, and I think that's a good place to start. The auditor checks the treasurer to make sure that what is like all of the finances are in order. If you don't have an auditor, you can have periodic meetings with your CPA to make sure that the books are balanced. Okay. Develop bylaws. So we have bylaws for our club that pretty much map out or outline how the club is going to run. So if there's 10 members of your club, each member is 10% ownership of whatever finances have been invested and gains. If there's 5 members, then it's 20% ownership for each member. It also talks about how to what's the process for bringing on new members, for electing new officials, new officers. If there's a member that needs to be removed. We actually went through that with our club last year. Thank goodness, we had our bylaws to make sure that that was clear. If you have people in your group where there's a married couple and then there's a divorce that happens, these are all things that you need to think of. But I don't want you to be put off or intimidated by bylaws. We actually use a template, and we were able to take that template and then tweak it to articulate exactly what our club stands for and what we're about. So I've included, you should have received an email from me last night with some of the resources, and in the resources is a link for you to access some sample bylaws for your club if you want to go down this particular route. So the investment clubs that I'm talking about here in terms of that long-term perspective, you're going to want to register it as a legal entity, okay? And so you're registering your club as a legal entity. You want to register it either as an S Corp or an LLC. And then once you do that, then you're in a place where you can open and fund a bank account for your investment club. And if you're going to be investing in stocks, you'll also be able to establish the brokerage account. Okay, so this becomes a really official investment club where you are out there looking for investments on behalf of your investment club. You come together, you talk about it, and just like Jada, able to make decisions about whether you're going to move forward, and of course, leverage the power of group economics. Okay, so now let's look at the different types of investments that you can participate in. And I mean, there really are countless investment opportunities. So I don't want to limit you to think these are the only 3, but these are perhaps the 3 of the easiest. Okay, I would say, in your getting started, real estate, stocks, and cryptocurrency, and then angel or crowdfunding investment opportunities are probably the 3 easiest ways to start. So when it comes to real estate, you want to make sure that your group has a good team working on your behalf. So if you want real estate acquisitions, you're going to make sure you have a good real estate agent, broker. You want to make sure you have an attorney. These are the people on your real estate investment team that you need. They're not necessarily part of the club, but successful real estate investment is only as good as the people who are working on your behalf. Stocks and crypto, I think that's the easiest way to start. You can create stock and crypto study groups where a few members spend the month researching 1 to 3 stocks that can then be recommended buys for the group. And this process of researching can be one that is shared with the group, so that even if you want to do your own research on a stock that the group isn't doing for your own personal investment strategy, you can use that same process. Angel and crowd investing opportunities, I would say with this one, it's, of course, every investment comes with some level of risk. And I would say this one is more risky because you are investing in brand new companies, and you're basically going on projections and looking to see how they might have performed in a smaller market, and to see, is this company one that's going to do well if they're looking to go public for an IPO. And so research. That's what's going to help you. You want to research the management of the company, the size of the market, the competitive edge of the product or service, and then, of course, doing an assessment of the risks involved in investing in these newer companies through crowdfunding investing. So when it comes to best practices for your investment club, okay, what my suggestion is here is be respectful of individuals' time. So you're in this club every month, you meet. That's standard practice. If you are in a club and you want to meet more or less often, it just has to be a consensus. And of course, work towards the goal of what it is that you want to achieve in your club. So in our club, we meet every month, and we start and end meetings on time. Okay, we start on time. If we see that we're going to go 5 minutes, even 5 minutes over, 5 minutes before, 5 to 10 minutes before, the president of the club asks permission to go over an additional 10, 15 minutes. And if we're not all in agreement, then we figure out a way to take those agenda items and move them towards the next meeting, or have some sort of conversation through our chat to reconcile anything that we couldn't do in that time, right? We allow for everyone to share during monthly meetings. This is really important because not everyone in your group is going to be an extrovert. They're not going to be the first to jump into the conversation, but that doesn't mean that they don't have something to say, and they are an equal contributing member of the club. And so opportunity needs to be given for them to make sure that they share and that their perspective is valued during the meeting. As a member of the club, the interest of the group always precedes the interest of the individual. So the group may not always vote to support an investment that you suggest or that you wholeheartedly support. This doesn't mean that you can't pursue the investment on your own. But when it comes to investment clubs, it's not just your money, right? And so everyone has to be not necessarily everyone has to be in agreement, but the majority has to be in agreement. Okay. And if not, and you still feel it's a good investment, you can find ways to pursue that investment on your own. So investment clubs are not just a space for increased earning and growth potential financially, but also intellectual, right? So increasing your financial intelligence. So invite professionals from different fields to present at meetings, right? So you should have learning segments. So if you want to learn more about NFTs, or if you want to learn more about short-term real estate investing, invite people who are doing it well, who are experts in that field, so that they can actually provide some insight into what it takes to be successful. Create a shared Google folder for agendas, files, and presentations, so that even in between meetings, members can go back and look at the agenda. If they missed a meeting, they can go back and listen to the recording. So this is a shared space where all of that information resides. Also a shared communication group like WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook group, or Slack, whatever you decide on, so that there's communication that can happen in between meetings. And then I would say always, maintain a culture of learning and growing, because that's what investment clubs are about. It's about growing in your understanding of wealth and how it works, especially growing in your relationships with your club members, right? So building those strong networks, and then of course growing your overall net worth. So that's a really important commitment to make. So I shared via email a resource list with you. So if you click on that email, that link that has all of the information, there's a link for Better Investing, which is formerly known as the National Association of Investors. And this particular organization was established 70 years ago, 1951. And I would say it's probably one of the most valuable resources for anyone in an investment club who are interested in getting started, especially in stock investments, but not not limited to that. It can be beneficial in all areas. There's also a link to their 90-day digital membership. So you can have a digital membership to Better Investing for free. That link is there, included in the resource list. And then, as promised, a sample template for your investment club bylaws. Okay, so you can take those bylaws and work with the members of your club to tweak them and arrange them as needed. So that is pretty much the conclusion of the investment club portion. If you enjoyed this, this is definitely not something that I hear a lot of financial professionals talking about, which I think it's so important, and it's exciting, right? If you hear your network is your net worth, well, how do you expand your network? Investment clubs are the perfect way to do that. And on that same in that same vein, I also want to invite you to become a member of the Generation Wealth community. And our community is a wonderful space where you can learn, you can grow. We have tons of resources. And I am actually offering it to anyone who attends our class at a discount today. So, what I would love for you to do is take a moment to learn more about the community. I'm going to show you a quick video, and then we are going to wrap up for this afternoon. Hi, my name is Janelle Rock, and I am the CEO and founder of Generation Wealth. When I started this company in 2019, I envisioned it to be a place where people across all generations would come together to learn, grow, network, and invest in order to establish lasting wealth for themselves and their families for generations to come. It's so exciting to now see that vision become a reality with the Generation Wealth digital community. This community is a space designed for the kind of learning and networking that will help you grow your net worth. The best part is that you can take this community wherever you go. When you download our user-friendly app on your iPhone or Android, you'll be able to access classes, self-paced courses, as well as curated virtual events on a variety of financial topics. You can learn at your own pace, and you can leverage the knowledge of experts within the community to get your questions answered, as well as discuss topics of interest with other members virtually or in person at one of our local meetups. Our community would be incomplete without a space especially designed for kids. We believe that when fundamental personal finance skills are taught early in life, children will grow up to make more responsible financial decisions as adults. The GW Kids community is designed for children from 8 to 13 years old, where they have access to age-appropriate classes, games, videos, and events on topics like budgeting, saving, investing, and entrepreneurship. We invite you to become a part of the global Generation Wealth family, where your network helps you grow your net worth. All right, so I'm going to put that link in the chat for you so that you can go ahead and check out the community. And you can also, take advantage of the special that we have for the next 72 hours, where you will be able to sign up for a free 30-day trial and receive $50 off any annual membership. So this is a great offer. I encourage you, if you really want to, network with other individuals and really expand your knowledge base in terms of wealth building, whether it's investing, budgeting towards financial independence, and of course, networking with other individuals, this is definitely the space for you. So I thank you so very much for your time. And I want to encourage you, you can just definitely keep in contact And I hope that you subscribe to our page. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter, you can go to our website, generationwealth.org, so that you can stay in the loop with all that's going on with our wonderful organization. Thank you so much for attending. I see we have a question here about the PowerPoint. So we don't share the PowerPoint presentation, but we can send you the replay of the of today's session. Okay, so you can look out for that in your email. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I hope to see you at one of our future classes.